Hey everyone, it's me Adar Chakharka and today we will be discussing about heap sort. So let's begin. What is a heap sort? Heap sort is a comparison based algorithm. It works by visualizing the elements of an array as a special kind of binary tree called a heap. It involves building a heap data structure from given array and then utilizing the heap to sort the array. Now let's discuss about the types of heap. There are two types of heap. First is max heap and secondly min heap. Max heap is a binary tree, complete except in the last level. The value of a node is greater or equal to the value of nodes in its subtree. Also which means the parent nodes always have greater value or have elements that contain greater value than its child nodes. So what is a mean heap? A mean heap is the reverse of a max heap, which means its parent node always contains elements having lesser value than the child node. The smallest element in a mean heap is the root. Now let's take a look at max heap visual representation. The highest element 19 is its root, while all the smaller subtrees are also arranged in order in such a way that the root is always greater than its child. Similarly, let's take a look at mean heap visual representation here. I, which is the smallest element, is the root of the subtree. So what is parent and child? Let's take an example of an array having elements 7, 1 and 8. Yes, 7 is parent and 1 and 8 are child. Now let us implement the heap sort algorithm. First, let's take an array of size 5 having elements 10, 13, 4, 7 and 21. The element at first index is set as root, and then the second element is kept at the left side of the first element as a subtree. Here parent is greater than child, the condition is true, so we replace 13 with 10 and rearrange the heap sort algorithm. Similarly, then 4 is set to the left of the root. Then again we go to the next element in the array, and which is 7, and it is placed on the left of the element 10. Here the max heap condition is satisfied as the parent is greater than child, and then the 21 is set to the right of the 10. Here the max heap condition is not satisfied as child is greater than parent, so it is rearranged and 10 is swapped with 21. Again we can see that the condition for max heap is not satisfied, so 21 is replaced with 13. Now for deletion process, the root is placed back into the sorted array. Then the last element is placed at the position of root. Here max heap condition is false, so it is swapped with 13. Here we can see that the condition is satisfied, so the 13 is placed back to the array. Then again the element of last index 7 is placed at root. Again we can see that there is false condition for max heap, so it is replaced with 10, and 10 is placed in the place of in sorted array. Again the last element is placed at root position. Here again the condition is false, so it is swapped with 7, and 7 is placed in the array. Finally 4 is the only element that remains, and it is also sorted and kept back to the sorted array. Now let's discuss about the advantage and disadvantage of heap sort. Advantages are it is efficient for large data set and no extra space like sort is required in this algorithm. Now let's discuss about the disadvantages. It is complex because of more comparison, and it is much more slower than quick sort. Yeah. Now let's discuss about the AP5 program. First, we have defined a AP5 function, and in here we have passed array n and I, where n is the length of array. Then inside the function we have initialized largest equals to I, the left child index and the right child index using I as well, and in the first if condition it checks if the left child of root exists and if it is greater than the root. Similarly, in the second if condition it checks if the right child of the root exists and if it is greater than the largest so far. And the third if condition is used to change the value of largest element or root if necessary. Similarly, we have created another function heap sort, where we pass the array and the length of array is stored in n, and this for loop is used to build up a max heap, and where this ep5 function calls the function above. Again, in this for loop, elements are extracted one by one from the heap and swapped when necessary. Now let's take an array of size 6 and run implement it or sort it using the ep5 function. So we have obtained the sorted array in ascending order. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much.